Good morning, Canadians. We got breaking news today, a must share. I can guarantee this 100%. Bloomberg, I got the share this morning. I missed that because I've been playing around with my new electronics platform to be rolling out here. New digital, interesting. But this is very, very important. I missed it this morning and I was requested feedback on it. But what will be coming in the news is absolutely UK is going to run under Boris Johnson vaccination passports. It's real, 100%. Share. Vaccine passports, COVID-19 vaccine passports. They're going to run it as trial. He guaranteed he wouldn't do it, but there again is that small c constitutionalism I like to talk about, which gets into the second part of this as I'm kind of battling with world experts in constitutional law and books published, and people talk about what's democracy and what isn't. In one book written that's a bestseller right now, the woman goes on to talk about how democracies that don't codify all your rights and constitutionalism are the most democratic, whereas the ones who codify all the rights of the people are undemocratic. But here's the very large problem. Nobody is talking about the codification of how to govern, rules of governance. Because I can promise you, you go over to the United States of America, you pick up each and every of the 50 states' constitutions, which are really large in codification. There are many, many rules of how to govern. And because of that, politicians are not allowed to manipulate your rights. Whether they have lots or little or whatever, the reality is you can have all the rights in the world. Like in Canada, we have the Charter of Rights. We have World Human Rights, and we also have our civil rights. But as you all know, in Canada, which isn't even on this list of autocracy versus democracy, that the author says these are full democracy. She lists so many, and then they list so many authoritarian governments, but they're not analyzing the very, very important part of constitutions that codify how to govern, rules of governance of your politicians. How much accountability is placed on the politicians themselves. In Canada, there is none, literally none, very little. In the federal, very little. But guess what? Through the colonial embedded portions of the Constitution, granting Prime Minister absolutely the role of Her Majesty, there is zero rules of how to govern. Because what rules exist, the Prime Minister may use the embedded colonialism and skip the democratic process altogether. We all know as Canadians, our rights fluctuate with every single government in each and every province, as well as fluctuating with every federal government ever elected. Disturbing, disgusting. Get this shared out, as I'm going to be not doing battle, but trying to break down this barrier in world academics with world experts and see what we can come up with, because I want to see this analysis placed when it comes to all of your rights against rules of how to govern in the same codification, in the same documents. And it is my view that it's going to be those without any codification of how to govern. Won't matter if they have civil human charter rights codified or not. It's not going to matter. Because if there are no rules of governance, they will manipulate every single right anyway. And that is my measuring stick. I truly believe. And I have read so many constitutions, not just at the UN level, everybody. I'm going through all the countries who have regions, which are provinces, territories, divisions of powers, where their constitution says 1/3 of the powers go to federal, 2/3 go to the provinces, regions, territories, states, sub-states, not UN states, sub-states like USA, and further, things like the European Union and its upper echelon and its codification down into each and every country constitution. This is the understanding that must be looked at. If we can't get through that, and we keep looking through the lens of a federalist or that highest level of governing body, we're going to miss all of the rest of it. And things like the inner regions of Canada or Russia or USA and many, many other countries will never even be factored. Anyone can look at my timeline. I've rolled out lots of US states. I've rolled out the fact that there are 85 regions of Russia who have more than 6,000 plus pages of codified sub-region constitutions. What is in there? That's what it's all about. And I've already done several states. I have several more to do just in USA. I mean, it's a tall order and I go at it little by little. But as we go through it, we start to see that things are not as they're being rolled out, especially in academia. And we have to change that. And that is part, I do believe, of this UN agenda. It's all part of it. And I will keep participating, keep educating, and I will keep standing against the multinationals. Proof in the pudding, small c constitutionalism, meaning pure power of the parliamentary system through the elected politician, which is the United Kingdom, sets all rules with every coming and incoming government. Boris Johnson said he would never make mandatory vaccines. Now he's going to pilot program vaccination passports COVID-19. Went back on his word, didn't care about the rights of the people, and absolutely imposed the political will. The small c, the right of the politician, because there are no rules of governance. Doesn't matter how many codified rights they give you, if you give no accountability, know how to govern rules of the government officials, and it's in the small c parliamentary system, guess what happens? Uh-oh. Rights be damned, everybody. The politician has decided to throw them away or limit their meaning, place it way, way down here. And then it's, oh, you're going to have money, organizations, big groups of people all putting in money, going to a Supreme Court that may or may not even hear your case, depending on how much colonial powers are. Now, I'm not going to talk about UK. I know what I suspect, and I guess I would have to look at their parliamentary acts, and I guess it's about time I do that. But without any kind of codified constitution, you're just reading a lot of acts and bills, and you got to look at what they're saying or what they've done recently, and it becomes a large order indeed. Every incoming government, and here's another bad thing about these governments, last bit, and I'll let it go, and you guys all share, breaking news, absolutely 100% verified, real. It's going to be in the news in the next 12 to 24 hours. You're hearing it first. I'm likely of beaten CNN still, even though I'm 5 hours later. Pretty cool indeed, right? There are great groups of economists and world experts out there in some pretty good organizations. You just have to be diligent and find them, and that's what I do. Even if I go at it with 30 and I only get 3, which was just what I went through with the UK, that's okay. Little by little. Thanks, everybody. Share. Bye now.